Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead season 11, and today we're here to talk about the Commonwealth. And we're going to be talking about it's pretty much like a Commonwealth explained video. I'm going to be talking about like who the Commonwealth are, and then I'm going to go through the scenes that we have of them in the trailer and break them down even further. So that being said, I guess I'll give like a general spoiler warning for the comics. I'm not gonna get too much into plot points like what happens to Mercer or what happens to Lance or Eugene or Princess. I'm not gonna get into that kind of stuff. But I still want to say that just in case you're reading the comics and you don't want to know anything about the Commonwealth, I totally understand that. So that being said, general spoiler warning for both the comic and the TV show. Also, if you are a fan of The Walking Dead, be sure to subscribe because we have a lot of Walking Dead content coming up. Season 11 is in just a few weeks. We're going to have a lot of videos coming up leading up to season 11, and then obviously when it airs, we'll be having videos as well. So be sure to subscribe if you are a fan of The Walking Dead. But yeah, let's get into the video. Alright, so who are the Commonwealth? Who are they? What is the Commonwealth? What are they? Let me go ahead and explain that first. So the Commonwealth, according to the comics, that is. I mean, we've seen them on the show as well. Not too much. We saw them in episode 20 of season 10. And then we have seen them in trailers and teasers and stuff like that. But the Commonwealth, they are a huge community of people. I mean, an advanced community. Honestly, I wouldn't even call them a community. They're more of like a civilization. I think they actually have like a bunch of communities in the comics. They have like kind of like outposts what the Saviors had, but like much bigger than that. They just have like a bunch of little towns and communities, but they're pretty much a civilization. And the reason I say that is because they have I think like 50,000 people living there. So they are not really a community of just a couple dozen or a couple hundred even. They have tens and tens and tens of thousands of people. So they truly are like a civilization, and they truly are something that we've never really seen before on the show. It's going to be super weird seeing something like this. Like they have a class system. They're trying everything they can to like create life the way it was before. Like they have a class system, they have jobs, like the people are like lawyers, they have currency, like money, they have bakeries, they have restaurants, they have like concerts, like musical like events and stuff like that, arenas. So I think they even have sports. So they are trying to do everything they can to go back or to create a life in this apocalypse that was similar to life pre-apocalypse. So I'm definitely interested in seeing how the show will translate the Commonwealth onto the TV show. That's going to be something that I'm looking forward to seeing. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the main Commonwealth people. So we have Mercer. He's number one here on our list to talk about because he has been in a lot of promo. He was even in the official poster, the artwork. So he is going to have, I think, a pretty big role in season 11. He was even part of the Comic-Con panel. He is a high-ranking officer among the Commonwealth soldiers. So like you saw the Commonwealth soldiers, they have like the white suits, right? So he has, in the trailers and stuff, we've seen him have like an orangey red suit. So yeah, he's a high-ranking officer. Definitely interested in seeing more of him in this season. It does seem like he's going to have a pretty big role. I'm not going to get too much into their story arcs or their comic arcs or anything like that, because I think, well, first of all, I mean, the show could change it, and the second of all, that's spoiling too much, I think. But yes, let's move on to the next character, and that is Lance Hornsby. So this is a character who we actually just saw in the trailer for the first time, so that was really cool. So let's go ahead and talk about those scenes as well. So this is Lance Hornsby, you can see here, and he is another like one of the high-ranking people at the Commonwealth. So he definitely gives me governor vibes for some reason. I don't know if other people saw that as well, but he kind of gives me governor vibes. So he's not like an officer or anything like that, like Mercer is or the other Commonwealth soldiers. He's more of like the business person. But let's go ahead and talk about these scenes that we have. So this looks to be like some sort of like little commercial they made or something like that, to show people. And I think it may be their way of just showing people what the Commonwealth is. And we have like, it's definitely a sketchy video. I'm sure everyone, I'm sure you've seen the trailer, and if you have, you know what I mean. Like, we see people like smiling and riding bikes, and it actually shows us, it gives us a good look at what life is like in the Commonwealth. But obviously there's more here than, meets the eye. I'm sure this is something that they created and they want people to see the Commonwealth as this. But I mean, there definitely could be more things that we don't know about them, and I think, there might be, which we have seen the Commonwealth, doing some sketchy things to the characters, like in the trailer, like they were pinning down Eugene. And we'll get to Eugene as well, because I think he's going to have an interesting arc with the Commonwealth, and we'll talk about him and Stephanie and that kind of thing in just a moment. But you can see everyone here, like having a good time, people painting, just walking around. There's like a Union Hall. You can see train platforms. I don't know if this is like a museum or something. There's paintings. So there's a lot of things in here that we haven't really ever seen before on The Walking Dead. And then we have Lance Hornsby at the center of it all, saying, "Hello, I'm Lance Hornsby. Welcome to the Commonwealth." So he's sort of giving like that welcome to people. And I think this is the video again that they're showing people. Maybe people that they want to join their community, or maybe people they're trying to convince to join their community, stuff like that. So Lance is going to be like, the high-ranking officer that I think is going to be spending a lot of time with the group. Like Pamela as well, but Pamela is like the leader, so she's probably doing her own, important things. But Lance is going to be with the group. Like, he's the one going to be questioning the group and stuff like that, I think. So there's definitely a lot coming up with Lance, which I'm excited about. But yeah, let's get into Pamela Milton now, and then we'll talk more about Eugene and some of the other scenes. So Pamela Milton, to quickly talk about her, we didn't actually see her in the trailer, but she is like the leader of the Commonwealth. And we actually got news about who's playing her, and they casted Layla Robbins. So that is definitely interesting to me, because for a long time I was thinking if Georgie was going to be Pamela, because they definitely look similar. So I guess not. So I'm still wondering like what's up with Georgie, but that could be a totally different video. But I think Layla Robbins is a terrific casting choice. She's a great actress, and I mean, the look is also there for sure, between her and Pamela. But yeah, she's been in a lot of stuff, a lot of TV shows, lots of great movies. So I'm definitely excited about this casting choice. And Lance as well, I didn't even mention, but he's being played by Josh Hamilton, who's been in some awesome movies as well. So the casting is great this season. So I'm definitely excited to see these new, cast members on the show. So to speak a little bit about Pamela, she's definitely an interesting character in the comics. She gives the group a hard time. She gives certain characters a hard time. She also has a son named Sebastian, he's a main character as well, a pretty important character in the comics. So as far as I know, we didn't get any news about him being casted, but I'm sure he's going to be on the show. I would be shocked if he isn't, because his name is Sebastian Milton, and yeah, he's a pretty important character as well, like really important, I think, actually. Or pretty significant character, I should say. But let's get into the Eugene stuff. So Eugene, we saw at the end of the trailer that they were pinning down Eugene, and this pinning down of Eugene by the Commonwealth soldier, like that comes right after that little commercial by Lance Hornsby. So it kind of tells us right then and there, like the Commonwealth, they're hiding something. But we've also seen like the Commonwealth giving Eugene a hard time in general. Like we've seen, an image of him, with a bag over his head. There was one in the new trailer where he was like covered in blood. So they're giving him a lot of, they're giving him a hard time. And he's the one who's, wanting to talk to Stephanie. And the same thing it's very similar in the comics, where he wants to meet Stephanie, and that's what leads him to the Commonwealth. But yeah, let's talk about Stephanie. So he's been talking to Stephanie on the radio. And in the trailer, I mean, not this trailer, but a couple a Thursday reveal from a while ago, we had this scene of Eugene sitting down next to this woman, and the little teaser made it seem like it's Stephanie, like, you know, he's sitting down having ice cream with her. You can see the ice cream shop, like, or, you know, like, so they have a lot of things that we've never really seen before. But the thing that's confusing is that a while ago they announced a casting for Stephanie, and it wasn't this actress, it was a different actress who they casted. So that kind of makes me think, well, there's two possibilities. Either A, they recasted Stephanie because of the delay, or B, this isn't Stephanie, because that actress that they originally casted as Stephanie, she seems to be involved still. It was like a while ago, like it might have even been like a year ago, or at least close to a year now, that they announced that an actress named Margot Bingham is going to be playing Stephanie. And people are saying that she's still involved with the show. So because of that, I'm kind of thinking now that this woman who's being seen with Eugene here, and Eugene seems pretty comfortable here, right? Like he's holding an ice cream cone, talking to this lady. So maybe this lady isn't really Stephanie, and they're lying to Eugene to get him to answer questions, because we all saw that little teaser of Eugene being questioned. I mean, they're all going to be getting questioned, because that's the Commonwealth. That's also a thing. Like, they want people, or they want to know information about other people in other communities. Even in the brand new trailer, we had this scene of Mercer questioning somebody, and he's inside of this room, and we don't know who this character is. Like, he's not part of our group, right? Like, he's not, you know, because so it kind of tells us that there's probably other people who are also being questioned. So the Commonwealth, you know, they just want to know, you know, about other people. So and we have that whole group back in Alexandria. I know they're dealing with the Reapers right now, but I'm sure eventually, you know, the Commonwealth will find out about them. And it may be because they use Stephanie to trick Eugene. We'll see. But yeah, the next thing I want to talk about with the Commonwealth, because this is also a big thing, is this Wall of the Lost. So we saw this in the trailer as well. We have Yumiko here. And Yumiko is actually dressed up as a Commonwealth soldier here, so this might be because she's like, maybe she, you know, like stole one of their suits to walk around. You know, that could happen. But the point of this is that Wall of the Lost. And we've been seeing a lot of this wall in teasers and stuff like that. So what this wall is, it's straight from the comics. The Commonwealth have this Wall of the Lost where people put up photos of loved ones and family members and just people they're looking for, right? They put up the photo. And in the comics, again, I'm not going to give spoilers, but in the comics, there are definitely characters that we are familiar with who run into characters from their past. And I think the show will probably translate some of those onto the TV show. I'm sure the TV show will do it differently, you know, like different characters maybe and stuff like that. And Yumiko is standing right here looking at the wall, so that kind of makes me think, like, what if Yumiko finds somebody? But I just quickly wanted to explain that as well, because this wall is pretty exciting to think about, you know, like who's going to be on it. Is it going to be Rick? No, I'm kidding. It's not going to be Rick. Rick is not going to be on this wall, but there's definitely going to be a character, I think, who finds out, or characters who find loved ones, you know, and friends and stuff like that from their past. So that's going to be something that's going to be pretty interesting to see. So as far as this video goes, I am going to wrap it up there. I wanted to make this Commonwealth video explaining who they are, what we can expect from them, you know, and stuff like that, who some of the main characters are. Let me know, what do you think about the Commonwealth in the comments down below. I'm definitely interested in hearing your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Like I said, I'm going to wrap it up there. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like rating. And yeah, like I said, be sure to subscribe if you're a fan of the show, because we have a lot of Walking Dead content coming up in the next couple weeks leading up to season 11. But as always, thanks for watching. Please take care, and I'll see you guys soon.